All right, go ahead. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming today. We are presenting today on Get 'em Going, Motivating the Middle Members. My name is Tiffany Lushke, and I'm a grad assistant over in the Student Life office.
I'm Ed Hotwagner. I'm the student body president.
So we're going to go ahead and tell you a little bit what we're going to go over. We're going to talk to you about goal setting with the middle members, apathy, rule of thirds, getting members involved, and keeping members involved. And then we're going to talk it out a little bit. So goal setting. There are SMART goals, and I'm sure you guys have probably have heard of SMART goals before. When you're goal setting with your middle members, you really want them to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And then we went ahead and did a little example of what it actually means to have a SMART goal. And it says, we want every member to increase their attendance at events and meetings by 15% by the end of the semester. Do you guys want to anybody have an example of a SMART goal within their organization that they maybe want to go ahead and implement or think about? Is everyone here for class?
Getting more involved just by running for a committee if it's a fraternity or if you're running for office positions.
So say a little bit more about that. How can it be measurable?
Not too sure.
So maybe you can, like with our 15%, maybe you have a 10% attendance and you want to increase it. So having that percentage or numbers associated with it would make it measurable. Anyone else? You give a shot at it?
Your like getting involved example could be almost like being involved in two cabinet positions or two smaller positions before you get like an executive position or something like that, so that you're slowly making sure that you're aware of how things run and leading the organization before you actually become the leader, kind of thing. Okay, so this one, talk about apathy. A lot of times everybody feels like everyone's apathetic, everybody sucks, nobody cares kind of thing. And a lot of times that's actually not the case. Apathy usually isn't caused by bad members. Usually apathy is caused by poor leadership or uninspired leadership. You want to make sure that as leaders of organizations that,
Here for iLead? The iLead?
The iLead presentation?
I think so.
Yeah?
They told me my business teacher.
Yep.
That sounds like it. Okay. So you want to make sure that as leaders of your organization that you're inspiring your members to do things, and that's what we'll touch on that later, but you want your members, and especially the middle members, to be inspired to come around and do things, and then they won't have that, well, nobody cares, or because those people don't care, I don't care kind of attitude. You want to keep in mind that people change, society changes, but a lot of times RSOs don't. And I know like the Greek organizations were thrown out, so a lot of times we get caught up in tradition and we don't want to change, but that's a bad way to go about things, because the way things were done 10, 20, 30, 100 years ago is not the way things are done now. So don't be afraid within organizations to change and do things differently and do things in a more fun way, because people will respond to things differently now than they did in the past. So you don't have to always do things exactly the same. Market your organization. A lot of times everybody thinks like when you market your organization it's out to other people to bring in new members, but you need to market your organization to your own members, because it's going to be those people that are going to take over the organization one day and lead it. So make sure that they remember why they actually joined that organization and why you do things, and market your organization to them to constantly remind them of what they're doing. Celebrate those that show up. So many times you go to an organization meeting and it's like, everybody that didn't go, stand up and tell me why you didn't go, or whatever it may be. Celebrate the people that actually do go. Don't focus on the 6 people that didn't go to the event. Focus on the 10 people that did. And the people that did go, make sure that they have a great time and that everybody knows that you're respecting them for going. And the people that didn't go will then have a reason to go, instead of constantly just yelling at them and reprimanding them for not attending. Make sure the people that did go know that you respect them and that you appreciate their attendance. Mandatory is lazy. Never again in life will you be in an organization or anything that everything's going to be made mandatory. It's just lazy to say you have to go to this, you have to be here, you need to be here from this time to this time. That just means if you have to make things mandatory, that you have to change your event. You have to change what you're doing to make it more fun so that people actually want to attend. You shouldn't have to make people do things. They're in that organization for a reason, so they should want to be there for a reason. Then stuff like, why do you meet? A lot of times organizations, just because you've met every week for the past 35 years doesn't mean you need to continually meet every single week. Sometimes it's just a matter of you're just going to give information out that's the same information, and it's just basic stuff. So people don't go to meetings because they go to things and it's like that's not important, and then so they're like, I'm going to skip the next meeting, but that meeting actually has something important happening and they miss that information because every other meeting has just been unimportant. So make sure that if you're actually going to meet, that you have something to talk about, and if you don't have things to talk about, then just relay information through email or however else that you can do it. Don't waste time at meetings, which is kind of the same thing. Everybody always goes to a meeting and everybody gives a report. Stop giving reports and actually talk about the organization and things that you can do and how you can do things better and how you can make things more fun for other people while they're at those events. And at the same time, respect your members. We always give start times to things, but we never give end times. Let people know when you're going to be done. Other people are busy in your organization, and sometimes they might miss because they're afraid they're going to miss out on a group project or whatever else it may be. So whenever you're going to say, we're going to have a meeting at 7, say the meeting's going to be done by 8:15, so that other people know you're respecting my time, and I know that at 8:15 I can leave because I have something else to do at 8:30, so that works for me so I can go, instead of them being like, well, I don't know if I can make it, so I'm just going to skip this one and I'll get the next one. And your job, remember that your job is to move the group forward, so make sure that people that take over for you know that change is okay, because obviously groups are going to change like I mentioned earlier. So make sure that people that take over for you know that changing is okay, that just because you did something and it worked really well, and the person that takes over for you, they don't have to do it exactly the same way. They can change it a little bit to meet the needs of the new people in the organization. The rule of thirds. So every organization you're in, probably for the rest of your life, you can break a group down into thirds. And the people that are here, you're probably the top third, or you know who the top third are of your organization. And we always worry about the bottom third. Everybody's always really concerned with the bottom third and making sure the bottom third is doing things and they're at events and they're at meetings. But that isn't what you need to be worried about. Just because the bottom third is doing good doesn't mean that the group's going to be perfect. That's not the case at all. You need to stop worrying about the bottom third and focus on the middle third. You don't want to focus on the people that don't show up to things. It goes back to that celebrate people that actually show up. The people that don't show up, when they do show up, they're probably just going to annoy you or make you go crazy. So stop worrying about them. Focus on the middle third, because nobody ever does. They never get that attention. They never get that respect. So if you go to those people and say, hey, how can I make meetings more fun? How can we make this event more fun? How can we do this differently? They're going to respect that because now you're giving them attention. They're probably going to be shocked that you even talked to them. But those are the people that are going to actually do better for your organization. Those are the people that want you to reach out to them because they go to everything and they do everything. But we're always so focused on people that don't do everything or just barely get by. Instead, focus on the people that actually care and are going to things, and then they'll start to do better. And that bottom third will either keep up with those people and they'll step up as well, or they'll kind of just taper off and end up leaving your organization, which is probably for the better anyway. Do you want to take this one? The getting members involved? Oh, okay. So aim small is a big thing. You want to focus on just like 5%. Don't worry about getting members to do a lot and having this big, huge change. You got to take baby steps with organizations. So 5% is a really easy, it's just something to think about. It's just something really small. And you want everybody to do it. And just because I said focus on your middle members, that doesn't mean just ask your middle members to do things. You need to ask yourself, the other top third, and the bottom third. You have to ask everybody to do just a little bit more. And the organization will slowly get better because you're going to have that top and middle third. They're going to slowly do better and keep adding 5% on. And that bottom third is either going to keep up or, like I said, they're going to fall behind. Recognize your members for completing tasks. You know, just a simple shout out at meetings for people. Even the most menial jobs and average things you could do. Like I make a poster for a recruitment event and I'm too busy to go get 30 flyers made, so I ask my friend Joe to go and do it for me. And then I recognize him and say, hey, I was really busy, I got into a crunch, but Joe went and took care of it and got the job done. And that means something to them, and that gives everybody else a reason to do things for you and come and ask and say, hey, can I help you? Because now all of a sudden they're getting credit for doing something that really took almost no effort, but because they went out and tried, they got recognized. And then engage and know your members. Make sure that they're doing things that they're comfortable with. It's things like just as simple as people who take in information and people who can convey information. Just because I go to a meeting and I can write stuff down really well and take it really well and then kind of talk about what happened doesn't mean I can turn it into something that my organization is going to use and then give it to new people. So when you go to like a Pantherpalooza event and you're trying to recruit new members, I may not be the best person to go and talk to people about what my organization is going to do just because I don't talk that well. So you want to find somebody that is really good at going out and conveying information that'll take what you've learned and other people have learned and then be able to give it out to new people and explain to those people why they should join your organization.
Alright, so a couple ideas to keep your members involved. We kind of thought of, between the two of us, some ideas that we're familiar with that kind of help motivate different members. So with raffle tickets, why don't you give members who do attend events or meetings a raffle ticket, and weekly or monthly or even semesterly you can do a raffle for a prize or membership dues or some type of incentive. The same thing with the point system. You can, as people attend events and as people attend meetings and get involved in committees, you can put them on a point system. So a meeting can be worth 5 points, a committee meeting can be worth 2 points, and kind of motivating them to do things and having that incentive at the end. Attendance prizes, this could be from putting their name in a hat and drawing it out. I've seen people put pieces of paper under the chair and then you have to feel under for a winner. Don't get your hands stuck in glue though. A couple other things. 50-50 raffle.
50-50 raffle was just something that my organization did a while ago, and it was like we were in a financial struggle. So people would come to our meetings and it would be like just pitching $1 and then you have a chance at winning. So we'd have 60 people at a meeting. You'd have a chance at winning $30 and then the organization would keep $30, and it was just an easy way every week to bring in small amounts of money that just helps out. And then it even helps if you have like a dues in your organization. We would have people that would win the $30, and then, you know, as a finance person, I would say, well, you still owe $100 to the organization. So instead of giving you the $30, I'm just going to tack it off of your individual dues, and the other 30 would just go into the pool of money that we had. So it would help out that member with their finances, or it could give somebody money to take home with them. And that's only just for showing up.
And then also member of the week. So kind of thinking of that middle member who stepped up, and you can announce them during the meeting. Hey, Ed here is a member of the week. He's done this, this, and that, and then maybe that can go into a pool of member of the year. So, and now we kind of want to hear from you guys. What kind of problems are you seeing? And we want to talk it out and try to help with you, because we can talk and talk up here, but if we don't know what your problems are, we can't really help you too much. So I think a lot of you are in here for a class. Is that correct? Is anybody involved in an organization that maybe you can think of some we can try to talk it out a little? Saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, attendance sucks and responsibility sucks. I mean, it's just one of those things where getting those members there, it's just, there's, you know, tried everything, and I mean, even not being a leader in the organization, it's kind of like, I'm starting to get sick of it and I don't even have a hand in the responsibility for it, so.
Have you tried, I'm assuming because you're not on the exec board, you said you were the leader in the group.
Right.
Have you tried those attendance prizes or the smaller incentives, starting off little? Do you guys have a point system? I would definitely take these ideas back to your organization. You don't want to start with all of them. You want to start little and build it up, definitely. And I think you'll see an increase.
And that goes the same with changing things, that sometimes people don't go to meetings because they're tired of people just standing up in front of them giving a report. So change how the reports are done, make it more a talking session, make it more about talking about the organization. And if you have things that are just like, here's what's coming up, or this is what happened at this event that needs to change for next time, or whatever it may be, there's email and texting and Facebook and all kinds of stuff that we could just shoot information out and use a meeting time as a time to like, how can we make this event better, or what can we do to help you guys want to come more, to make you want to come to this event and make you actually have fun. Because if your members aren't having fun at your events, the people that are attending probably aren't having fun either.
Or have a pajama themed meeting. I mean, if they don't want to come because maybe they have to dress up, switch it up a little and start them going like that. Anyone else? All right.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks for coming.
I think we can sign your sheet. I know we had to sign a few people. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.